babies.
I know you're wondering where Pastor Sue is. Well, she is on her way. She was coming from Nakuru with her husband, of course, Pastor Munene. I'm sure they were spreading the gospel, but she's...
You cannot use Pastor Sue and spread the same statement. It's always a risk.
That is wrong. That is a wrong train of thought. So she's almost here. So let's wait up. I have this one to just continue as we wait for her. All right. So there's a story that we played earlier, and I want us to just cover tip of it, because I think this story menijamisha. How do you do that? Just watch this story of one, then.
Okay.
Yeah, let's have it.
A somber mood engulfed Nyakbong village in Kisumu County after an ex-boyfriend Sebi Obonyo stabbed his 24-year-old ex-girlfriend Cynthia Anyango for allegedly leaving him for another man.
Kitu kama saa 9 hivi huyu kijana alitoka akawacha huyo msichana kwa nyumba akielekea kwenye center. Dakika kidogo hakufika mbali, alisikia sauti ikitoka nyuma yake, msichana akipiga kelele.
Preliminary police reports indicate that the main suspect, Sebi Obonyo, viciously attacked his 24-year-old girlfriend, leaving her with life-threatening injuries after stabbing her on the left ear and chest in what appears to be a jealous rage after Cynthia moved on.
Nasema na memdunga kisu mbona. Nasema eti nasikia eti huyo msichana alikuwa girlfriend wa Sebi. Na nasema kama alikuwa girlfriend wake, mbona akakuja kumdungia kisu huku? Si angemchukua tu ampeleke huko mbele, aenda aseme yenyewe huyu alikuwa girlfriend wangu, nilikuwa na date na yeye. Si angemchukua tu ampeleke huko mbele, ama angekuja kuchukua msichana ampeleke kwao.
Cynthia Anyango, who was bleeding heavily from the wounds, was immediately rushed to Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital, where she remains in critical condition, receiving treatment. Cynthia's family is now calling on investigators and relevant authorities to expedite on the investigations and arrest the main suspect, who remains at large, to ensure justice is delivered to Cynthia, who's currently in critical condition.
Sasa kufika huko kwa police station, huyu kijana alitoroka mbio mbele hawa mapolisi. Sasa tulikuwa tunaomba huyu kijana apate haki yake, juu huyu kijana alikuja kumvamia kwa nyumba yake. Na huyo msichana tunasikia sio bibi yake, ni msichana tu mwenye mtu kila kijana naye akimtongoza akikubali anaweza enda nayo.
Samra Mohammed for TV47.
Sebi Obonyo, anaitwa Sebi Obonyo, anatafutwa.
That's the guy.
That's the guy.
Very useless.
Si ukiacha
No. Trust me, Betty, I have no time to sugarcoat men who have lost themselves all in the name of love. Right? A man should be so complete and so firm of him in himself and of himself that when a relationship or a marriage is supposed to be an addition. It's supposed to be a cherry on the cake.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be your whole life surrounded on it. You get? And if this is such a case of this kind of a guy, this is a man who gave everything, literally a man who hung his life and started living for the sake of the woman. Now when the woman goes down, the man has to start finding himself again. And I tell men, just like we said last week, please be as single as you can, right? Yeah. Until you're full to the brim. Until you as a power bank, you are 100% charged up. Then because you cannot sell what you don't have. But this thing of, and I find some very stupid statements men tell women, you complete me. That is a very useless statement. There are statements I will never tell a woman.
You can say for love.
No, you complete me?
Like you make me whole.
You make me whole. So who was I?
What do you tell your girlfriends when you're dating?
I will
like last week, the one that you're with.
No, leave the one for last week. But this is the thing.
What do you tell them?
There are words that men should never use. You complete me. I am nothing without you. If you leave me, I will die. Where will I be if you go? Those are words that put a man in a very vulnerable situation. You get? Number two, a man should never hang his happiness, his vision, for the sake of marriage or for the sake of a woman. A man, it's the woman who comes and confines, or who comes and collaborates into the vision of a man, not a man doing the opposite. So ukiona ngulusumu kama hii, this Obonyo of a guy, and I'm very embarrassed that we share the same gender. You get?
Obonyo.
In fact, Obonyo is like Obonyo. This is it. Obonyo lost himself in love, and it's very dangerous. Men should never lose themselves in love. You should stand firm because this woman is looking at you as somebody she should be looking up to in terms of stability and firmness, psychologically, emotionally, and even financially. All right? But when a man is shaky, that's why he was actually left. Because there are things actually telling women is very dangerous.
So let me ask you, what are you about to say?
In fact, I tell men, show your love with actions. But this thing of showing with telling with words is dangerous. Women are not very good at being given these words. Because what happens is, that's why I even tell, don't even cry in front of a woman.
Hey, upon.
Don't, no. Don't.
No.
If you need to cry as a man, hide yourself. Hide somewhere. Ingia kwa gari.
No, I don't agree.
Then.
I don't agree with you. Remember Pastor Sue, like 2, I think, episodes ago, you know, like she said, like, you know, like Pastor Munene cries in front of
but you see, but have you seen how solid their marriage is?
So it's okay.
Right?
I don't think it's okay to say that men should not cry in front of. Like I would want my man to cry in front of me.
But this is the thing.
Vulnerability.
Okay, fine. You want a man to cry in front of you, but have you created a safe environment for this man to feel vulnerable? Because most of the time, when we let our vulnerability out, you guys use it as a weapon. All right? And even if, I'll tell you a story. A very good friend of mine, a top artist in this country. He doesn't have his car right now. The other day he was dropped by the girlfriend, meeting up with the boys. Then the girlfriend went and started gossiping in a WhatsApp group. Iki kimuntu, siku hizi kimenifanya mimi ni ubaya yake. Dropping.
Wewe unasema kama msenajua.
Barabara maybe. But this is the thing. Even if it's those matters of showing tears and everything.
Yes.
Tafuta enda kwa gari, shout. Enda kwa msitu kwa forest, piga kelele, piga ndo. I actually advise every man should have like a session every week to just scream on your then go and continue. But it is risky showing a woman in the opposition.
But you kuulize, pia wewe I think sometimes you're really hard on the women, yeah? I mean, like, I want to be told those nice things. So you cannot say that there's a structure, there's a limit to the things that I will say or I'd want to hear from my...
Betty, I have not said. Betty,
kutoka kwa roho.
No, I couldn't talk. But I'm excited about the idea about love.
No, but you love yourself.
Which every man should. Every man, if you don't love yourself, or if you don't have ego or pride as a man, and I actually advise women, don't settle down with a man who doesn't love himself. Because how will it outpour? Because a man's love and ego is a reflection or a deflection of how he's going to take care of you. You get?
Yeah.
But it's not because I'm hard on women. This is the thing. I am a firm believer that men should steadfast in who they are first. Discover yourself, know yourself. And I'm not saying that men should not be romantic. As I sit here, I want to say I'm one of the most romantic men that I know. But there are some words that you should not speak out because those words put you at a very risky position. You cannot sit and tell a woman that if you leave me, I will die. So this is the thing. That's why I even tell men, when you're changing, when you're changing from, let's say for example, you're an alcoholic, you've quit alcohol, you've quit probably vices that were probably biting into your finances. When you want to now become a fully changed man, fully 100%, a full package of a man, all right? Do not change for a woman. Change for yourself. Never change for a woman. Because the day that woman goes, what happens to you? So do you go back and start drinking? Do you go back and start misusing money? So men, even if it comes to changing, change for yourself.
Okay.
So don't use them as like, if you leave me, I will die. Me? Dr.Ofweneke. If you leave me, Betty, and you were to date today, and you tell me, Ofweneke, I don't think this is working. The next moment, I'm probably on a trip to South Africa.
Because you can't. So you're doing all this, you're really overworking.
It's because we've become so vulnerable when it comes to marriage and love and everything. Okay. And that's what women are living as. Which now proves that statement of women are attracted to bad boys than good boys. Because bad boys, in quotes, at times tend to be a little bit firm and not really don't care, but they tend to be, they cannot be moved, they cannot be shaken, all right? But this is of all kila mahali, baby nakupenda, what kind of nonsense? Sisi wanaume tuko tunatafuta pesa, wewe mwanaume unakimizana hapo na mwanamke 25. Mimi nifanye gigs ngapi hapa na ndio huyu hapa kwa cameraman, people are busy. Pastor Munene is busy speaking in conferences of men. Wewe kimwanaume umekazana tu kila mahali uko tu.
Okay.
Even when Eve was busy,
I really feel bad for any of the girls who get with, bro.
Even when Eve